right, all you golfers, it's time to go low. This is Jeff Stanislow, your host of Let's Go Low, powered by Golfers Unite. And we are going to talk some more golf today. And today we have a special segment with a person that's bringing a golf brand to market. I'd like to welcome Rob Walko from Ferret Golf. Rob, how are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent, Jeff. Thanks for having me. Thanks for the opportunity.
Certainly. So we met online on basically some social channels early on when I first started Golfers Unite, around the holiday time, and just got to do some DMs and some messages, and you liked some of the content that I was doing, and I was liking some of the stuff that you're doing. And then we had an opportunity to meet each other at the PGA show. And, we decided to, continue our relationship. And this brings us to the radio show. Rob, why don't, starting off, why don't you tell us a little bit about your company, kind of how it started and, where you're at today?
Well, a lot of things, so we'll quickly break it down. First and foremost, the question I get asked, number one, about the company, Jeff, is what exactly is a ferret when it comes to golf, and how did you come up with the name? A ferret in golf is actually, I found out it's nothing that I came up with. It was in my research, I found that it was kind of a lost slang term for a hole out for par better, not using your putter. So bump and run, what Scotty was doing 2 years ago. I think him and Ted had a bet for how many hole outs he could have from the fairway. So all of those were technically ferrets in the old golf lore. So once I found that out, and then I grew up playing on a par 3 course, so I have a pretty nifty little short game, and I had a couple ferrets myself over the course of that same season. It just that started the formulation of the name for us. So it does have a direct tie-in back to the roots of golf and how we used to play that kind of bump and run style of golf. The name grew into a little bit more. I was having a conversation with my sister. We were throwing a couple names around. This was back in April of 2024, right after one of those scrambles that we do for charity that really just reinvigorated my love for the game and kind of started developing the seeds for getting the company going. I was having a conversation with my sister about throwing these names around. My wife, literally right outside this door that I'm looking to my left, she comes walking down the stairs. She looked at me on the phone with Megan listening, and she goes, "What's the matter, honey? The ferret fall off the wheel again?" And I was just, it's been my nickname for her nickname for my ADD since we met back forever ago. And so those pieces with the naming just fell into place. Green happens to be my favorite color. It also happens to be the color for mental health and mental health awareness, so which is a big part of our company and what we do. And so those naming things just all kind of fit into how we came up with the name Ferret Golf.
All right. I love it. So we're talking with Robert Walko, the founder of Ferret Golf, and talking about starting a golf brand. So in the definition of a ferret, which when we met at the PGA show, I hadn't heard of as well. I love the backstory of bringing back an old slang term for a hole out, not using your putter. That's fantastic. And then you mentioned something about giving back to charity and, the mental world. Is that part of the mission for Ferret Golf?
Yeah, so Ferret Golf, we have a different story, and we've built this company a little differently than most golf apparel brands. When I got into it, I mentioned it came right off the idea of doing a charity foursome with some group and raising money for schools in the local community here in Charlotte and how we could give back. I mentioned the conversation I had with my little sister. Unfortunately, just about a month after that conversation, she passed away very suddenly, and I spent the next 6 months up until the show last year, really struggling with my own mental health and just dealing with a situation in my life where I felt like life had treated me out of order. There's no way my younger sister should have left before me for any reason. But through local organizations and some local support and community groups that provided some help and some give back through mental health support, and then going to the show and realizing just, it's not that I didn't feel like I had a purpose for the company, Jeff. I knew that I wanted to do something. I just knew that we could do so much more than just be a golf apparel company. So it was through a couple things, and then an event that we held with a mental health organization that's near and dear to me. I don't, with where we are, I'm not going to go exactly with where they are. They're on they help with folks who want to, maybe didn't want to be here, and we need to have them with us, if that's probably the great way to say it. But through working with them and doing an event with them, we really shifted the focus of the company to make sure that we could give back and support the folks that are really helping support the community. We went so far as to change the branding from having the brand be a little sideways facing ferret with a tam o'shanter to more of the GFG logo that's more stylized, just so that we can be more than golf apparel. But everything that we design, I spend all my free time on the course. So
That's really interesting, and condolences for your sister. And
I appreciate that. It's not something that I use. I mean, it's definitely part of the story because it shaped us from being just a company that's out there going, hey, let's make some clothes and make some profit, to really wanting to keep this a close to home story and a family story, so that we can direct where some extra funds go to support the community.
That's fantastic. We're talking to Robert Walko, the founder of Green Ferret Golf, and talking a little bit about like how this brand came to be and what its mission and purpose is. And I think these stories are really important for our listeners and people to understand and support. Myself personally, I support local here in the Tampa Bay area, a couple organizations that also support mental health, including IBIS Mental Health Network. As a matter of fact, in a couple months, I'm playing in their golf tournament. So moving on to the business, Rob, we appreciate your time again. You're listening to Jeff Stanislaw from It's Let's Go Low show on AM 820, the Big 8, brought to you by Golfers Unite. So Rob, let's talk about like starting the business. You had a vision, you had a mission, and maybe you can talk to us a little bit about like, all right, well, I need to get some shirts, or I need to get some hats, and what do I do now? And kind of like take us along the journey of the actual execution from idea. Because I think there's a lot of people out there that like have a logo or something they design, but you've actually made it through what I call the, phase one. So.
Well, and I appreciate that. Thank you. It's my first thing is, if you have an idea, go for it. 100%. It's a big, huge world. It's a ton of community. The game is growing. Not everybody's going to make it, because you're going to make some mistakes along the way. And you may or may not have a support system there that's able to work with you. But you can always reach out to myself through social media and through the different channels, and I'll help you along the way. How did my journey started? The PGA show 25. We just came out of 26, right? The PGA show 25. As I mentioned, I kind of went in there a blank slate. My background is in wholesaling and financial services and sales, and running tech companies. I honestly, Jeff, and for your listeners, I didn't know the first thing about designing a shirt, other than I had a pretty cool design under here that you can't see on the radio that you've seen live, that had to do with the pushcart mafia, that I thought I want to bring this shirt to market. So what we did was we started with a company that allowed us to essentially take their shirt and use our brand on it. And I went around to golf courses here in the Charlotte area, talking with them about how we could work together. And we found a very nice niche, working with the pro shops to help them lower their margins and keep their outdoor employees safe from the sun, with a lightweight shirt that they could be out here in the Carolina sweat and heat all day long. While I was going around getting the feedback from those initial sales, we went ahead and started making some changes to what we would like to do. We got tech packs. I worked with a design firm out of Bangladesh that I found on Fiverr. Amazing firm. We're working on the next series of shirts and outerwear right now as we speak. Just making little subtle tweaks based on what we get from feedback from our customers, because every shirt that we send out goes out with a customer comment card. A lot of people send me back direct emails with, hey, I absolutely love this, this, and this. Have you considered this? And so we just put everything into a spreadsheet, and once it hits X number of times, we go, all right, that must have been an issue, or that must be something that somebody wants. And then we go back to the design guys and go, let's look at making these changes.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite the process. We're talking with creator and founder of uh, Green Ferret Golf, Mr. Robert Walko, and kind of getting behind the scenes of what it is to bring a golf brand to market. It is not easy. It is not. I mean, I think you see all these affiliate programs and stuff on the people on the internet and socials making money by, really not putting a lot of work, time, and energy into things. And for the most part, that is just not the truth. It takes a lot of time: content creation, building your social channels, design, manufacturing process, sales, delivery, customer service. The onion seems limitless in sometimes. So this is Jeff Stanislow, your host for Let's Go Low here on AM 820. Rob, diving into the next round, what did you find that was like easier than you thought, and then what did you find that was more difficult than you thought in your quest here to bring Green Ferret Golf to the world?
I'm going to start with what I have found to be more difficult is honestly, it's flipping the camera around and documenting my journey. And there's a little bit of an ADD aspect of me that when an order comes in, amongst everything that you were saying, peeling the onion, I want to make sure that I'm delivering and fulfilling for my clients on time. And I'll walk into our delivery center and I will just forget to hit record to do a packaging video. The other part of it is we have I can say I have a few celebrities that do wear our brand, and I don't share those videos because out of respect for those folks, unless they give me permission to do it. It's just a respect thing that comes from my past world. The hardest part for me though, Jeff, is literally it's the social media side. In a past life, I worked with it a little bit and did not find it to be a fun companion. I don't think that it's always best for everybody's mental health to have everybody's opinion chime in. That's just a me thing. I'm not trying to take away from anybody, but that's just me. So a lot of times I find the marketing side of it to be a little challenging in today's conventional online world. I am very blessed to have a few folks that I've met through social media, both here locally in Charlotte and in Illinois and other couple places, that we're starting to work on some partnerships and collaborations. So, because like you said, I don't see myself as a content creator, Jeff. I see there's other guys that do way better content. I can provide you some behind some scenes. I can tell you this, but I get just as much satisfaction out of meeting with the club pro and closing the business as I do getting a birdie on 18 to beat my buddies. It's just the way that I am. Okay. So the big thing in growing my brand is I have started that search for ambassadors and started that search for just normal golfers who want to grow with a brand that's trying to grow and do the right thing and help get the word out to their friends that they found something that feels great while they're on the course. And it's a brand that they feel that they can stand behind because we're going to do something great for the community as well.
That's fantastic. Rob Walko from Green Ferret Golf. Tell us how people can check out your offerings.
Well, thank you. Absolutely. Thank you. Easiest way is on the internet, greenferretgolf.com. 2 E's, 2 R's, so GreenFerret golf.com. We're also on all the social medias under Green Ferret Golf. So you can find us on TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, what was it, Instagram, all of them under the handle @Green Ferret Golf. I'm on social @Rob Walko if anybody has business building questions. They may not hit on the golf page, but I will answer any business building questions that people have on my personal page as well.
Wonderful. That's great news. This is Jeff Stanislow. You're listening to another episode of Let's Go Low, powered by Golfers Unite at www.golfersunite.com. We'll probably set up a link to Green Ferret Golf in the event that you need that. We'll be happy to do that. But as we progress, Rob, and talking about building your brand. What is on the slate for this coming? Are you doing seasonal stuff? You got a new release that you wanted to talk about?
Well, we just released our player series, which is our first custom set, where we actually went into the tech kit and said these are the things that we want to change. Wearing the hoodie right now, I actually spoke with somebody today who tested it about design. He's like, it felt a little big on my head when I wasn't wearing a hat. And I asked him, how many times do you play golf without a hat on? He said, never. I said, put on your trademark fedora, throw that thing on, tell me what you think. It looks really good underneath a hat. So the gear that we're trying to provide on the players side is going to be functional gear for the golf course. Our Pro Shop series is stuff that you can just wear to the office and go right out and play. It might be a little looser fitting, a little lighter weight fabric so that you're a little comfortable while you're hanging out, not on the course. This year, we're going to do a couple seasonal drops. We're also going to add to the line. I have recently signed an NDA regarding some manufacturing, so we're going to just simply be able to increase. Hoping to bring ladies and kids on by the end of the year. Right now, it's mainly men's for the fashion, so ladies and kids by the end of the year. And if we can come back at some point here in the next couple months, we're going to have a really cool membership program with another company that I would love for us to come back on and talk to you about, because we really feel that in today's world, people should be getting access with stuff. So we're gonna look at providing some great access along with our membership program.
Yeah, this is Jeff Stanislaw. You're listening to Let's Go Low here on AM 820 in Tampa. We'll put this up on our YouTube channels, and I'll also make sure that Rob, our guest here from Green Ferret Golf, gets a copy and he can share this so we can expand our reach. Would love to have you come back on the show and kind of document this journey and talk to us about the growth, because while we didn't get into a lot of it today, I'd love to kind of, bring you back and have some segments about different things and different challenges and how you overcame them and the growth model, because I think a lot of our listeners, who are in the golf industry would really, really enjoy that. Again, Rob, in closing here, why don't you tell us how people can find out about you one more time, and then I'll also post it up at golfersunite.com.
I appreciate it. You guys can find us on the internet, greenferretgolf.com. And we're also on all the social media pages at Green Ferret Golf as well. So, Jeff, thank you so much for the opportunity today. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, everybody. This is another episode of Let's Go Low here on AM 820 in Tampa, brought to you by Golfers Unite. And this is your host, Jeff Stanislaw. Have a great day, everybody, and go low.